A dark stain spread down her legs, and I realized she had wet herself. People around started to whisper and giggle uncomfortably, but most turned away, embarrassed for her. Not Monica. She stopped dead in her tracks, smirked, and pulled out her phone.
Oh my God! Did you seriously just pee yourself in public? What are you, 2 years old?
The old woman looked mortified, tears welling in her eyes.
Please, it was an accident. I can't. An accident? Honey, they make diapers for people like you. Ever heard of them? Maybe you should stock up before you go out in public and traumatize the rest of us.
And then, to my absolute horror, she started recording. Stop, Monica. Please don't do that. It's not right.
Shut up, Lila. I'll do what I want.
She filmed the poor woman, zooming in on the stain, mocking her mercilessly, then uploaded it straight to her social media with the caption, "When Grandma forgets her diapers, the rest of us suffer #gross #old people problems." People around shook their heads in disgust, but no one intervened. The old woman trembled, her eyes burning with humiliation. But then something shifted in her gaze. She stopped crying, stood a little straighter, and looked Monica dead in the eyes.
You will regret this. Mark my words, wicked woman. You will fart, pee, and push out your own feces without knowing it, all while laughing at your own shame.
I've always believed that life has its way of balancing the scales. Some people call it karma, some say it's divine justice, others whisper about curses and witchcraft. Whatever name you give it, I've seen it with my own eyes. And the person who taught me this lesson was none other than my wicked stepmother. My name is Lila, and this is the story of how my stepmom's cruelty finally caught up with her in the most humiliating, supernatural way possible. Growing up wasn't easy. My mom died when I was 6, and my dad remarried way too soon, in my opinion. He said he couldn't bear the loneliness. But the woman he married, Monica, was not the motherly type. She wasn't just cold. She was venom in human form, and I was her favorite target. From day one, she made it clear that I was competition for her attention in the house. She wanted my dad all to herself, and I was nothing more than a reminder of his past love.
You think just because you look like your mother, your dad's going to love you more? Sweetheart, men forget. You'll be forgotten too.
She'd whisper things like that in my ear when Dad wasn't around. And when he was home, she would play the perfect wife. Cooking, smiling, putting on her fake angel mask. At school, I was shy and quiet. At home, I was a servant. Monica gave me chores that made me feel like Cinderella without the glass slippers.
Scrub the floors again, Lila. I can still see streaks. What, are you blind? No wonder your mother didn't survive. She probably couldn't stand raising such a useless girl.
Those words cut deeper than any knife. My dad never heard them because by the time he walked in, Monica would be humming, baking cookies, pretending she'd just encouraged me to do chores to build character. One winter, I remember begging my dad for a new coat because mine was too small. Before he could answer, Monica interrupted.
She doesn't need a new coat, darling. Let her learn to appreciate what she has.
But Dad, it doesn't fit anymore.
Stop being ungrateful. Children in Africa walk around naked and starving, and you're complaining about a little coat? Shame on you.
My dad just sighed, rubbed his temples, and told me to listen to Monica. I swallowed my tears and went to school freezing, while she strutted around in her fur jacket. Another day, she locked me in my room because I spilled juice by accident.
Lila, you are a disaster. Maybe if I leave you in here long enough, you'll learn to stop ruining everything.
And yet another time, she invited my friends over for a fun sleepover, and then humiliated me in front of everyone by making me serve Monica's friends, while she laughed and whispered mean things about me.
Can you believe she's supposed to be smart? Look at her, carrying our drinks like a servant. Pathetic, right?
And I believed her. I believed every poison-laced word, because that's what children do. They absorb cruelty until it becomes part of their identity. But as much as she tormented me, nothing could have prepared her for what was coming. It all began one rainy afternoon at the shopping mall. Dad had gone to look at some tools in the hardware section, and Monica dragged me along to buy herself new shoes. She loved parading me behind her, treating me like a pack mule to carry her bags. We were walking past a clothing store when I noticed an elderly woman standing by the corner. She looked frail, her clothes shabby, and she had this lost expression on her face. Suddenly, she gasped and clutched her skirt. A dark stain spread down her legs, and I realized she had wet herself. People around started to whisper and giggle uncomfortably, but most turned away, embarrassed for her. Not Monica. She stopped dead in her tracks, smirked, and pulled out her phone.
Oh my God! Did you seriously just pee yourself in public? What are you, 2 years old?
The old woman looked mortified, tears welling in her eyes.
Please, it was an accident. I can't. An accident? Honey, they make diapers for people like you. Ever heard of them? Maybe you should stock up before you go out in public and traumatize the rest of us.
And then, to my absolute horror, she started recording. Stop, Monica. Please don't do that. It's not right.
Shut up, Lila. I'll do what I want.
She filmed the poor woman, zooming in on the stain, mocking her mercilessly, then uploaded it straight to her social media with the caption, "When Grandma forgets her diapers, the rest of us suffer #gross #old people problems." People around shook their heads in disgust, but no one intervened. The old woman trembled, her eyes burning with humiliation. But then something shifted in her gaze. She stopped crying, stood a little straighter, and looked Monica dead in the eyes.
You will regret this. Mark my words, wicked woman. You will fart, pee, and push out your own feces without knowing it, all while laughing at your own shame.
Monica just scoffed.
Ooh, scary. What are you, a witch? Please, you're just a smelly old hag.
She laughed and dragged me away, tossing the old woman's dignity into the trash like it meant nothing. But deep inside, I felt something stir, a warning. And it didn't take long for the curse to begin. That very night, as Monica was showing Dad her new shoes, I noticed her shifting uncomfortably. Suddenly, her face twisted in horror.
Oh my God, no!
A dark, wet stain spread across her expensive silk dress. My dad froze.
Monica, did you just...
No, I didn't. I swear.
But she had. She peed herself, right there in the living room, and it didn't stop there. The next morning, I woke up to Monica shrieking in the bathroom. I knocked. Are you okay?
Go away, leave me alone.
But the smell told me everything. She had soiled herself, worse than a baby. And now, she would randomly fart, pee, and push out feces without warning, in the middle of church, the grocery store, or our living room. At first, my dad tried to be supportive.
Maybe it's a medical issue. We'll get you checked.
But the doctors couldn't find anything wrong. Tests after tests came back normal. They were baffled. Meanwhile, Monica started acting strangely in other ways too. She'd mutter to herself, laugh in the middle of conversations, and sometimes scream at shadows in the corner of the room. One evening at dinner, she threw her fork across the table, eyes wide.
She's here! The old hag is here laughing at me.
Monica, there's no one there.
Oh, but there is. The more she mocked the old woman, the worse it got. Her friends stopped inviting her out because she'd humiliate herself in public. My dad grew exhausted, his patience wearing thin. Finally, after she defecated on herself in the middle of a restaurant, she broke down completely.
Please, I find her. Find the woman who cursed me. I'll do anything, just make it stop.
My dad sighed, shaking his head.
Monica, we don't even know where she lives, and you brought this on yourself.
As of today, we're still trying to locate her. Phone books, social media, even local community centers. Nothing. She seems to have vanished. And Monica? She still lives in the care home, still humiliated, still begging for mercy that will never come. And me? I finally have my dad back, a peaceful house, and the daily reminder that cruelty comes back to bite you, sometimes in ways you can't explain. So yeah, that's the story of how my evil stepmom got cursed by karma, or magic, or whatever you want to call it. And if you ask me, it couldn't have happened to a better person. Oh, and before I forget, guys, don't end up cursed like my stepmom. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share this story before the witches find you first.